Yeah, dude. So the next thing we should probably discuss a little bit is this World Flying Disc Federation Team Championships. Did you know anything about it?
No, never even heard about it. But what are we doing? USA in sixth place? What's happening?
Yeah, there's got to be some stories behind that, and I think that we might as well bring our special guest in here and introduce him to the people.
So, one of the players on the team, everyone, is here to talk all about this. We have so many questions because we did not really hear much about this. But all the way from Tyler, Texas, we got Mr. John Willis II. John, thanks for being here with us, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. We're ready to learn about this event.
Yo, what up, everyone? Welcome back to the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production. I'm your host, Lucas Deal. We are in episode number 35. Thanks for being here. In this episode, we're going to talk about some off-season tournaments that has happened the last couple of weeks, a scorching hot round from Corey Ellis, a little bit of the 2024 Q Series that is still going on. I'm surprised too, but yes, it's still happening. We will talk about the World Team Disc Golf Championship, something that may not be on your radar currently. And we're going to take a look back at some of our preseason picks and look at how they stack up now, plus some sponsorship news. This episode is absolutely stacked. As a reminder, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search for the words Win Dummies. Please also subscribe to the Disc and Deals YouTube, where you can interact with us through the comments. We'd love to hear from you. But hey, let's bring on my co-host, the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. What up, Smitty?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. We missed a week, and it's all because of you.
You damn right we did. Yeah, we were about an hour out, 5 o'clock. We were kind of planning what was going on, and you messaged me, and I said, I don't know, dude. I don't think I can do it. I feel like crap. And I did. I felt like I could maybe die. I didn't know what was going on. So I found a way to survive through the night, went to the doctor. Next day, the old gallbladder came out. So I cost us getting to episode 36 tonight, but I apologize. But I'm maybe more angry that I didn't get to say Joel frickin' Freeman because that son of a gun had another win.
Yeah, he did.
I was so looking forward to that, but it is what it is. I'm healthy. I'm on the rebound. I'm feeling better, and we're gonna have a fun show tonight.
Yeah, we are. So let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? One of the things that's happening right now is we had a tournament called the Discraft Big Rip Classic. And this guy, Silas Williams, a name I'd never heard of, 29 under on the tournament, 10 down, final round. This kid played MJ15 in 2023. He beat Silas Schultz, Matty O, Cameron Colglazier, Chad, whatever. But I'm saying this kid, Smitty, is a kid, and these kids are just getting better and better.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This kid can be at most 16 years old, I think, if he was playing MJ15 in 2023. Okay, he might only be 15 years old.
That's true, too.
Yeah, this event was, I think, in Mississippi, if I remember right. So down there in Matty O and Colglazier country.
Mm-hmm.
And those two dudes have dominated that area for a long time. And Silas here came in and just walloped them. Pretty amazing, man.
It's impressive.
So
impressive. 1058. Was that the rating for the weekend?
I think that was, his rating for the his average rating for the weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
And I didn't find any coverage. I haven't seen anything that happened. I'm sure there'll be something come out. It's these tournaments that are coming out now seem to be a little bit slower getting off the press. I think people are trying to kind of milk what they have to get people through the off season. But yeah, man, that's worth mentioning. I think a 15 or 16-year-old kid coming out there and taking down a couple of Southern United States legends.
Yeah, and shooting nearly 1060 for the weekend.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And then we had the Veterans Park Open. I've never played it. I know a lot of Midwest golfers love going down there, but another great showing by GT Hancock, who we've been kind of watching all year long. But Freddie Meza came out on top in this one, shooting 28 down. And there is coverage of this out there. I watched parts of rounds 1 and 2.
Well, 12 down, a 4-way 12 down final round is pretty impressive. Not a lot of shaking up at that final round, it looks like.
Well, I mean, you might be surprised. If you look at that, GT moved up 4 places, so he probably moved up off the chase card.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Barsby moved up 5, Jaden Ryan moved up 5, and Zach Nash dropped a couple. So
well, I apologize. So this means that most of them came from the chase card or worse.
Yeah, and Freddie he's up 3, so he was probably Bob on the lead card.
Wow. So that would have been, I might have to watch that then.
Well, the problem is if you watch it, you're not going to see these guys because these guys are on the chase card.
But I need to see who was there because, I mean, these are some big names.
Yeah, big regional names for sure.
Yeah.
So, So that's fun. And, that course has been the same for as long as I can remember with the hole on the cliff and the big star island green. So,
yeah,
pretty cool. And then there's this thing. Did you look at any of this results or watch any of this? The Mary Sunshine House Classic?
I saw it was out, and I saw the scores and was a little surprised that none of the MPOs shot below par.
That's crazy. But they had a hole that averaged 7 point something. But
did you watch it at all?
I tried to.
So
I tried to watch it.
Were the holes like crazy hard or?
Yep.
Okay.
It's long. It's through the trees. It's got elevation.
Oh, it's wooded too. Okay.
Yeah, it's got OB in the trees. It's rough still. It's a fairly new course, it looks like. But man, if there's a hole that's averaging 7, I don't know that that's a great hole.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is. But I mean, this goes to show you that really the only thing that matters is who completes the course in the fewest number of throws. And if you look here at second place, Paul Cron's 1 up last round, moved him up 10 places.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. And there's some big names here that didn't make this top 5 list. Double G was there. So
what's a +1 rating there?
Oh, it was well into the thousands.
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder what the cutoff was for 1,000. I wonder. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to maybe watch that one too.
But look at this, man. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series event. And they had Terry Miller there as their coverage. And, I give Terry props. He travels the country. He's been really important in getting disc golf media to the place that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't believe that the Disc Golf Pro Tour wouldn't get the better equipment there, get the better film crews there, and at least do post-production of this thing. So this whole Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series thing kind of seems like it was a really good idea. In fact, it seems like a fantastic idea to me. But Are you hearing anything about it, or have you heard anything about it all year?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, maybe a few events that we've talked about just because there were some off weeks that we talked about. But if we wouldn't have looked those up, we would have never heard anything about them.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at them a little bit here. Here they are. Okay. All of the events all the way back from May 9th, the 303 Open, which is in Colorado, up until the current one, this Mary Sunshine House Classic. There's one more next week, or this weekend, excuse me, in Jacksonville. And then the finale here at the Olympus Disc Golf Course in Florida. Okay. So first of all, let's skip ahead here and let's look at what the idea behind this entire thing was. The idea was to give up and coming players a platform to display their skills, get better at disc golf, and earn their tour card for the upcoming year. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea seems awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Minor leagues.
Six cards, right? I guess for the men, 4 cards for the women. Yeah.
Right. Is what they're going to give out. So the minor league giving these guys a chance to kind of travel around, earn this tour card so they can get all the benefits that come to that, which are, I think, signing up early, guaranteed places, things like that. And I don't think that tour card's cheap. I heard, I don't remember what the number was, but I heard one of the podcasts talking about it, and I was a little shocked that there actually is a financial burden attached onto that. I think the Disc Golf Pro Tour would want the best 100 players to be on their tour. Seems like that's something they can.
So you're saying like these people that win
got to pay money.
The cards, they then have to buy the card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
pay money to be on there. So, anyways, let's go back and let's look at these events. 303. Do you remember who won it or who played in it?
I think Goose won.
Goose won. What do you know about Goose?
He's already got a card. Yeah.
On the tour. He edged out Joe Revere, who could be on tour if he wanted to be. Capital of Texas Open. A couple of names that we just saw, JT and Freddie.
GT?
Oh, yeah, GT. Excuse me. Okay. Cascade Challenge. Remember anything about it?
Was this is the one that, no, I don't at all.
Look at the location.
Washington. So
Northwest area.
Yeah. So let's go with what's his name?
Little Nick. That's his name.
Oh, that's not what I was.
Little Nick. Chandler Kramer, Ezra Robinson. This was during the right around, I'm pretty sure right around the time they were up there for Portland Open and Beaver State Fling and all those.
I was thinking Scott Withers was the name I was thinking.
Yeah, no, he can't hang with these guys.
Well,
sorry.
Well, that's what I was like. In a Q series, I'm not expecting all of these Pro Tour guys to be there.
They are.
Yep.
Beehive Classic. So I feel like the Capital of Texas Open is exactly what the Disc Golf Q series should be. As awesome of disc golfers as Freddie and GT are, they're not that top 5%ers. These, the guys that we think of as the stars of the game.
Yeah.
Awesome regional players, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Kick the crap out of almost anybody. But those are the guys that I think this tour should cater to.
I agree.
Okay?
I know we're going through these, but it's crazy to me that I just don't think you should be allowed to play if you already have a tour card. That's it. I
think they take the money, but I think the points fall down.
Oh yeah, okay, I agree with that.
I think that's the way it works. I still don't like it. I mean, how much fun would it be to watch Freddie Freeman go down to the minor leagues and take a couple at bats?
I mean, it'd be fun to watch.
Well, yeah, Freddie Freeman's a cool cat. Okay, the Beehive Classic, another one. Perfect perfect way it played out. Connor Rock, Nick Gill. Two names we've heard of, two guys that are really good at disc golf. Not probably going to win on the Disc Golf Pro Tour every weekend. But, hey, man, they got in there, they battled, they got this Q Series win. That's good. That's what it should be.
Yep, agreed.
KC Wide Open. Do you remember? It's in our backyard.
Did Prezi? I know Prezi won it 1 year. I don't remember who.
Drew Gibson.
Huh. I mean, that's kind of one.
Well, Drew didn't have a great year this year, but until the end, he clutched up at the end. But
does he have it? Does he have a tour card?
I don't know.
I think that would be a fun thing that we should know as fans. Like, there should be something designated that shows if someone has a tour card or not. Because I think if someone that doesn't have a tour card does well, in my mind, I'm rooting for him more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways.
He edged out GT, by the way.
Oh, come on, GT.
Yeah. Okay, so from there, we go up here to the Discraft CCR.
Mm-hmm. That's the one Nolan was at.
GT got the dub.
Yep.
That's top three finishes for him already that we went through.
Yep. And he played super good that weekend.
Yeah. So, I would assume that he's punched his card. We haven't mentioned any other name more than once.
For sure.
So hopefully for him, he's earned that spot. And then the Diameter Open up in Canada. Do you have any idea who won that?
Thomas Gilbert.
A young up-and-comer named Gannon Burr.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that one.
Yeah,
that's the one where he went crazy.
Barely beat Isaac by 12 and Ezra by 14 or something like that.
I do remember that now.
Okay, so that one, those guys ruined the idea of it for me. Mary Sunshine Classic, we just looked at the names. There's a few good players in there, but Noah Minsma winning.
Yeah.
That's a good win for him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think it needs to play out like that to where it is not tour card holders and give people a chance that, aren't on the pro tour already.
Yeah. And this thing needs to be promoted and we need to know what's going on. But on the other side of the coin, mm-hmm. I'm having a hell of a time getting through the Mary Sunshine Classic. I haven't even seen the hole that they're getting sevens on yet because I can't do it.
Disc golf's not as good? Or the coverage not as good?
Yeah.
Or both?
Both, I think. I think if that was AB or Gannon Burr or Rick attacking that course, we'd probably be more excited about it. We'd see more dynamic shots. But
yeah, I can see that. And I guess from another perspective too is I think what I was looking for the 2025 Q Series, and it looks like they're still accepting applications. They don't even have enough people. So I think it would be hard for these tournaments to say no to the Pro Tour players that already have cards when they're trying to fill their dang tournament. They just apply to try to, it's still just a normal A tier for them that they're trying to run, but they're adding this Q Series tag onto it. And it's hard to say, nah, I don't want that money to come to my tournament. You know what I mean?
Right. And I have not looked at the application process at all. I have no desire to run a Q Series event, but I think of somebody like Tyson, who just got an A tier sanctioned for Cali County next year. He also runs the Nevada Open, both A tiers. I think Q Series events have to be an A tier. That would give an opportunity for Midwest players to have one more stop. Now, I don't know if there's expense added onto that to him, mm-hmm. or how that works, or Keeper of the Chains is an A tier in the Midwest. So,
yeah, honestly, if there's no extra cost, why wouldn't you try to do that to also bring more recognition and notoriety to your tournament?
That's right. So, I mean, we've had all three of those tournaments I mentioned. Well, two of them. We don't know about the one in Cali County yet, but they've all had great players, right?
Oh, yeah.
GT was in the beta. You and I just did the commentary on that. We've had
Andrew Presno was back to back to back. I mean, he's a major winner. So
Prezi played it, and we've had a few good players here in Wichita for the keeper. But maybe something like this brings in a Freddie Meza or a GT Hancock or a Connor Rock.
Yeah,
or
some of those
no.
states that are closer. Some of the pros from Texas or Colorado that are just normally playing regionally.
And another thing is, we talked about this a little bit 2 weeks ago, that and my idea was disc golf on a downhill slide, and I don't know how these guys can afford to go all year long on the pro tour and not cash, not be in the money, not support it. I mean, I think that these smaller tournaments, what we would consider a big tournament in our area, an A tier, I think they're going to take off and have more players in them. And I'd be really interested to see if any of those three that I mentioned would even, apply and look into it and see if it was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Agreed.
That's enough talk about that.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get the heck out of here. Let's talk about this.
Yes. Look at that. So we've already talked about the perfect round, but this is now over perfect. 19 under.
All right.
And I'm looking at some of these: a 402-foot par 4, a 344-foot par 4, and then I think Corey even mentions there in a comment himself, hey, it's 12 down if the par was what we play on tour. I played solid overall, though.
Yeah, you sent me this, and first thing I saw was 19 down, and I was like, whoa, that's incredible. And then I think the next thing I sent you was, dude, he had 5 eagles.
Yeah, he did.
Not only did he have 5 eagles, but he had 5 pars.
5 pars. That was the bigger one than me.
5 pars and shot 19 under on 18 holes.
Yeah.
The math's not math in there.
Yeah, so a 51 is 19 under. Yeah, that's when you know.
And this is just another one of those things, like we just talked about the tournament where everybody shot over par. In the end, it doesn't matter. All that matters is how many throws did it take you? I completed it in this many throws. You completed it in that many throws.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, what a round, regardless, right?
Well, it only rated like 1051 or something, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Because I don't think there was a ton of people in that tournament even that were like big names. So what do you call that? Your score enhancers or whatever?
Propagators.
Yeah, propagators.
Yep. So great shooting, but 19 down, like he said, 12 down. So,
yeah.
7-stroke buffer there.
Yeah, there was only 16 in the field.
Right on. Yeah, dude. So the next thing we should probably discuss a little bit is this World Flying Disc Federation Team Championships. Did you know anything about it?
No, never even heard about it. But what are we doing? USA in 6th place? What's happening?
Yeah, there's got to be some stories behind that, and I think that we might as well bring our special guest in here and introduce him to the people.
Yeah. So one of the players on the team, everyone, is here to talk all about this. We have so many questions because we did not really hear much about this. But all the way from Tyler, Texas, we got Mr. John Willis II. John, thanks for being here with us, my friend.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. We're ready to learn about this event and just a little bit about it. I guess my first question for you is, how did you get selected for the team? What was the process for that?
So the PDGA put out an application process late last year, and anybody who wanted to fill it out was more than welcome to fill it out. And so that's what I did. I saw the application, went ahead and submitted it for myself, and I was greeted with an email in earlier this year, and they said I was selected for the team.
Nice. You know how
Sweet.
many people submitted applications? Did any information like that come out?
I don't remember if they put the number out specifically. I do not know off the top of my head if there was a number put out or anything like
Okay.
that. So,
Well,
All right.
interesting. Yeah, I never even caught wind of that when it came out, but I also have about 9,000 unread emails in my inbox. So,
yeah, it was pretty under the radar, I feel like.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't I
that's
don't
too
think
bad.
I don't think a lot of people knew about this, and this was in Australia. So I want to talk more about the tournament in a second, but I want to talk about how you got there. Was this something that you paid for out of pocket? Was this something that you had sponsors help you with? How did that work for you?
No, this was something that came completely out of pocket for myself. I don't have any sponsors helping me with anything this year, so it was a trip that I had planned 6 months, 7 months in advance, and I'd saved up for it and made sure I was ready to go and got the tickets and Airbnb, rental car, all that.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I want to talk about the tournament, but this is Australia. So first time going there?
First time for myself, yes.
Okay, let's just talk about Australia in general. How is Australia?
Australia is beautiful. I mean, we're coming into late spring, so the weather was a little here and there. We got a couple of rain clouds, but Australia itself was beautiful. It was an incredible landscape. You got kangaroos hopping around, koalas, all over the island, and it was an amazing experience for sure.
Yeah, so like they're just out in the wild, just chilling.
Yeah, well, so the kangaroos you could see them kind of more like at dusk and dawn at the course and out in the fields.
That's so
Um,
crazy.
yeah, I didn't see a big group of them myself, but I know a lot of people that saw at least a handful, a dozen or so at a time, hanging out, chilling.
That's nuts.
You ever see that guy that had to go punch that kangaroo to save his dog?
Yeah, the kangaroo's got the dog in the arm or in a headlock. Yeah.
Oh man,
Luckily, I wasn't fighting any kangaroos.
Yeah,
I don't think I would do so well.
I don't. I think a kangaroo would whoop my butt, man, for sure. So you said Airbnb? So did you guys all get together and stay in one Airbnb, or was it just little pods of team members in different spots?
Half the team got it themselves an Airbnb. There was a big group of them that stayed in one house, and I think I got one. I got a private place with my girlfriend, and then I know another guy, Gavin. Him and his girlfriend Liberty got a private place. So there were a few people spread out. I know Kevin Gleason. He was a team captain. He was with his family. They had a place for a couple of weeks, and they were staying with like Chris and things like that. So a few groups, a few individuals.
Okay, cool.
Just use it as a little vacation with a World Flying Team Championship
Yeah, a
in the
little
middle of it.
vacation, little disc golf, that's for sure.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the format.
Well, the format was singles and doubles match play. So each round you'd get six people that were playing. You would have, in this case, three MPO players, two FPO players, and one MP40 player. And your 1, 2, and 3, your 1, 2, it was all ratings based. So whoever had the highest rating in those categories, they were the MPO 1, 2, 3, and the FPO 2, 1 and 2, and then the MP40 was just whoever you put in. So each round you didn't know who, but there was a list. We could kind of figure it out once we made the roster that two people were going to be playing doubles together and two people were going to be playing singles. So you'd have four matches for each round with the combination of the six players, and you would play the other team. A win would be 2 points, a tie would be 1, I believe, and obviously a loss is 0. Whatever team had the most amount of points at the end of those 4 matches, they would get the win. And then tiebreakers were different as you progressed throughout the tournament.
Nice. So how many of the other teams did you have to play in I guess qualifying type rounds, trying to get to the big finish? Did you play?
There was a few different groups. So each pool had like 5 different teams in it. So we were in Pool D, and we had Italy, Austria, New Zealand, and the Netherlands as well. Colombia was in our group, but they dropped out. So there were 6 in each pool with five different opponents, and we ended up with a first round bye because Colombia dropped out.
Got you. So the first part of it was more pool play. Is that right? Within those 6 teams?
Yep. The first part was pool play. There was 4 matches the first day, one, and then the final match Wednesday. The final match on Thursday morning.
Okay. And so I guess, and I don't know if you know this answer, but I'm just looking at the teams, and like some teams have like 5 people, some have 6, some have 3. Like USA only had 3 as far as like MPO is considered. How did that work out?
So each team had to bring at least 6 people. So they had to have at least 3 MPO slots, 2 FPO slots, and an MP40 slot. But your MP40s can play in MPO. They just can't play. MPO can't play in MP40. So every team had at least 6 players. A lot of teams only had 6 players, and those 6 players played every match. But we were fortunate enough to have 11 players, and we were able to have substitutions throughout the days.
Okay, cool.
That is cool. And you said there's an interesting story. I think I'm ready to hear what did you call it? You called it a technicality.
Yeah, so I want to set the stage here for Smitty, because I know, John, you had mentioned in your post that through the pool play that Team USA went undefeated, right?
Yes.
So you went 4-0, or you beat, because there was one person that dropped out. You essentially went 5-0 and didn't lose. And then you moved into the round of 16. Okay, and then what was the format there? Kind of the same format throughout?
Same format throughout. We just went into single elimination. So you win, you move on to the next bracket. You lose, you're down to the loser's bracket.
Okay, so in the Sweet 16, Team USA faced Australia.
Team USA faced Croatia in the Sweet 16.
Croatia, Sweet 16. And so is that where the controversy happened, or Team USA got past Croatia, no problem?
No, we were able to move through Croatia onto the final 8 with Australia.
Okay, and that's where there's some controversy, some technicalities, and I want to hear all about this. So in the round of 8, we have 8 people left, and we are facing Australia, who ended up getting second in this whole thing, and Team USA with John Willis leading the charge. What happened, my man?
Well, it was all written in the rules. It was black and white. The information was there. So, I don't want to say there was any wrongdoing. It was all fair play. It was all good. What ended up happening was we had lost our doubles matches. So Australia took 4 points in the doubles, but we had won both of our singles matches. So we had taken, 4 points in the singles. So a lot of us had thought we were about to move into a playoff, a sudden death playoff, to get
it'd be 4-4, right?
Right, to get into the Final Four. Well, what ended up happening is during those games, the tiebreaker was immediately decided by the team that had the most points from their doubles matches.
Oh.
So since Australia had 4 points through their doubles match, they took it over us because we didn't have any.
So the singles didn't mean shit.
Regardless of the 4 points in singles, the immediate tiebreaker went to doubles points, and so they were the winners.
Man, that's unfortunate. It would have been fun to play that out, especially when two teams are battling that hard, to have it ending on, hey, who got more points in this category? That's kind of silly.
Yeah, it was a little heartbreaking at first, honestly. We went back and looked at it, and that was the rule. That was how it was written. We just we didn't do our checking. We didn't do investigating, and I didn't know. I think a few of the members just kind of like didn't know that was the case.
Yeah.
Well, at least it was already predetermined what was going to happen, right? And what are you going to do? You can't argue it. They had to break the tie some way, and they had planned ahead. And we'd probably like to go play some more golf and settle it that way somehow. But at least it was predetermined. You knew you can't say, "Oh, it's rigged," because there we go. Here's what we're going to do, boys. In the case of a tie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that sucks, though. That sucks.
But honestly, in my opinion, John, knowing that going in, I just think you play your doubles a little different. You know what I mean? Like, it maybe adds more intensity for you, makes you maybe clutch up, knowing that, hey, the tiebreaker is the doubles. If you knew that ahead of time, and it's unfortunate that didn't happen.
I think that would add a little bit of importance to how the doubles could be played. I want to say we played it about as heavy as we could have anyway. I was actually part of one of the doubles that lost. We got our butts kicked by the local kids. Shout out to Alex and Blake. They did great. But yeah, no, it was just kind of, it felt wrong to kind of have it go out like that. We had anticipations of more golf, and we should have read the rules a little bit closer, maybe.
Do you think it was kind of a unfortunate matchup, though, too, that you got home country? They probably know the course that's in Australia. You're playing Australia. Do you think that matchup maybe caused a little bit of the loss? They've
got their home course advantage, but we were right there for it. It could have been ours just as easy as it wasn't, and I feel like they fought a good fight, and we came up just a few strokes short.
That's fair. I was just trying to give you an excuse. Whatever.
Look, we're just glad it wasn't Estonia. Estonia might have been a little bit of a different story against Estonia.
Yeah. And they had a pretty solid team. They had Albert on there, right? Estonia.
Yeah, they had Albert. They had KT and KD. They had Cristo. They had a solid team, 100%.
Yeah, but they didn't have Kristen, and they didn't have Silver, right? Those two didn't play.
Right.
So,
but still, yeah, solid squad, and very, very interesting how that played out, and crazy that we didn't hear anything about it ever.
Well, there's a lot of other things going on disc golf wise, towards probably the time they were trying to pump it all up. That's USDGC, and that's the Pro Tour finale. So that's where all of us, the spectators, are. People like John, who have known about it since last year. They've been preparing this whole time. But
John, you needed to let everyone know. This is on you, John.
Now I think a lot of people are gonna know. Since it kind of became a little bit of a thing afterwards, but I will say it's ratings based, so they take the top rated applicants that apply. That's how it goes. So I mean, there was anybody, there were, like I said, a few guys floating around 1,000, and that's who made it in, because we applied. If anybody that was a higher rated player would have applied, any of the touring guys, I think Jennifer Allen was there for a little bit, but she just was unable to go. So I mean, it's anybody could really get out there, and it's ratings based.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that it's done by WFDF, right? And it's crazy that they're not partnering with the PDGA here to like really make this a bigger thing too. It seems like a cool concept. I guess this is what I'm saying. And I think more people need to know about it. More people need to hear about it. And I mean, if it's ratings based, John, when you applied, were you were right around the 1,000 mark?
I was a couple over 1,000 when I applied. Yeah.
Okay. Cause I was looking I never got to see you play. I'm like, what's this John guy all about? And I'm like, okay, John, you're a little stud. I see that last year You played a lot of the DGPT. 15th at Jonesboro.
Yeah.
All right.
One of my better finishes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like this year you didn't really do it the same way. Is that something that you want to start trying to get back into, or are you going the opposite direction and kind of not playing as much?
This year I think I really needed a big mental break. I kind of had some unfortunate times in the middle of last year, and I needed a break from disc golf. I needed to have a little bit more stability and just kind of recollect myself. But I've been missing it, so I want to get back out there. There's ways to get back on tour. Maybe not necessarily. Maybe I can't jump right back into the pro tour events, but there's ways to get back out there, start playing more events, and build a reputation, build a name again, 100%.
Yeah, I love that, and because looking at this, you played most of them. You played a good stretch of tournaments, and I was going to say, was 2023 the first time that you really jumped in and went all in on the DGPT, or had you done it prior?
That was actually my third year.
Okay. So, wow. Life on the road, completely different, right?
100%.
Yeah. And that's kind of what you're talking about. Need a little bit more stability. I don't think people know how big of a grind that is. And does it make you lose love for the sport when it becomes a job like that?
You have to find how to love it in a different way.
Okay.
100%. It becomes a job. It's not just a hobby anymore. And how you get to live relies heavily on how you play, how you perform.
Yeah, and that pressure has to be insane, especially when you're playing, against the best players in the world.
Well, and hovering right around 1,000, you can go to just about any tournament, local tournament in Texas, and you're probably going to be in the mix for a top finish, right? But 1,000 on the pro tour is, you better bring a lunch, buddy, because these boys are bad mofos, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cash line sits at about 10-19.
Yeah,
any given tournament.
Yeah, so that I think would be the thing for me, is just knowing that you just played great and you might have got some cash. So, gosh dang. And then what about the downtime? That's got to be, you can't just play disc golf for a whole week, right? What do you do?
More or less, you're out, you're still practicing putting, you're tossing the lid, but you find time to go to the gym, go float the river if you're in one of those places, go find a swimming hole. There's a little bit of downtime, but if you take too much, then you're starting to lose strokes on the course.
Yeah. That sounds like hard disc golf to me, man. I'm gonna continue to be a C-tier warrior.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
Well, Smitty, anything else for John before we let him get out of here?
No, I'm glad you applied. I'm glad you got to go have fun. I'm betting you're probably checking that inbox for next year's application. Is it an every year thing?
No, actually, it's every 2 years. So it was in Croatia 2 years ago, Australia this year, and in 2 more years, it'll be in Lithuania.
Oh, nice. Ooh. And, I did try to watch it. I woke up and looked on the YouTube, and it said, I think it was Australia, and somebody was playing. I'm like, I'll give this a go. I made it like 3 holes, man. It was like a dude out there with a flip camera filming it. So I was like, it wasn't. People complain about what we get from the Disc Golf Pro Tour all the time. This was leaps and bounds below what we're watching all the time. But I tried to watch it so I could be a little bit informed. But I'm glad you got to go, man. It sounds like you had a fun time.
Oh, yeah, it was a blast. It was love that I got to go do it.
Well, dude, thanks for jumping on. Good luck in your disc golf journey and getting back out there and doing the thing. Definitely a fan out of me now. I'll be rooting for you, my dude.
Yeah, we'll be watching you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Like I said, I appreciate it. Hopefully, you see me out there on the big YouTube soon. And yeah,
All right, man. Take care of
Right on,
yourself.
dude. Appreciate it.
thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Later.
All right, that was fun, man. I'm glad he came on.
Yeah.
What a cool guy.
Yeah, and I hope that format catches on. That sounds super interesting. I'm always a fan of match play, and I'm always a fan of interesting doubles. So pretty cool.
And crazy, I didn't realize it was every 2 years. So I'm glad he mentioned that. And then while we were talking, kind of backstage, he did mention that the doubles was alt shot the whole way.
Yeah.
Which that's tough.
Yeah, and you're right. If you get off on the wrong, yeah, it can throw you for a loop, as we've both experienced in 1880. That if you got the wrong guy on the tee, boy, you just might as well chalk up a par.
Yep.
So I'd like to see manufacturers get behind this thing a little bit. I mean, we had multiple people travel from the United States to Australia to represent our country in this disc golf thing on their own nickel. That I'd like to see them get some sort of help from somebody. I don't know who necessarily that can be, but
it looks like John absolutely grinded to make that happen. So so kudos to him.
Cool honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Your favorite topic. Player movement.
Here we go. Some sponsorship news. Connor O'Reilly said, "Deuce, I'm out, Lone Star." Is this a shock, Smitty?
I'm gonna say I don't know what Connor O'Reilly's contract was through Lone Star, but if he was getting any financial support, yeah, that's a little bit of a shock to me, right? Because I don't know if you've looked at Connor's stats, and I mean, he seems like a nice guy from everything I've seen. I enjoy his YouTube videos he punches out. He punches out a lot of videos. Some of them do pretty well. Some of them get thousands of views. Some of them suck like ours and get 200 views.
Let's go.
But
one of us.
He's probably for the same reason. He probably would like to have 1,000 views. I would love it if every one of our shows had over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
But I'm just as happy tomorrow if we get 300 views, right? I'm doing it just because I want to do it and talk disc golf and have something fun to do. But yeah, Connor played 33 tournaments last year.
Okay.
33, and he cashed, well, this year, I should say, and he cashed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times. Cashed his third of his tournaments for a whopping $3,893.
Wow.
Yeah.
He needs that sponsorship. I wonder if he had something else on the horizon, and that's why he bailed. But if you're a sponsor, are you wanting to pick up someone that's cashing in 30% of the tournaments? And I don't know.
Well, his best finish on the year was he had 2 7th place finishes. One at the RIP Disc Golf Pro Series Classic. Wonder why that one didn't come up on it was a Q series.
Yeah.
Wonder why we didn't talk about that one. And a B tier early in the year, he got 7th. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what he's worth to a manufacturer.
I guess my question is it truly the discs? And if we look at his 2023, does that change anything?
Well, he was something weird then, too. He was like Castoplast.
Oh, I thought he was DD or like lat or Yeah,
No, I
Latitude
don't-
64.
Oh, maybe he was. Maybe it was Luke Sampson that's cast the Plax.
Yeah, it's Luke Sampson that's cast it.
Well, in 2023, he played in 29 events and he cashed 6, 10, 13 times. So better cash rate. And yeah, could be.
45% of the time. So, I mean, I'm not trying to throw Lone Star under the bus, but that seems to be fizzling out at a rapid pace.
And how much longer are they going to be a thing?
Yeah.
They're different than other disc golf manufacturers in the fact that Discraft, Innova, DD, they have to make discs to remain a company. Lone Star was already a plastics company in the oil industry that got into disc golf during the boom. So, they sell off all their stuff, they close the door. They're going to be doing what they already did before, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see them lasting more than a couple more years, in my true, honest opinion.
That said, I got 2 boxes of Lone Star ready to go. Please hit me up if you need any Lone Star discs.
Great disc. It's the quality of the plastic.
I actually sometimes I feel them sometimes and think these things do not feel that terrible.
That's what they say. Oh,
This is going to be fun. I went back to our very first episode. You and Ronnie and myself talked about people who had changed sponsors this year, and we made predictions on how it was going to go for them and what was going to happen. Ronnie brought up Parker Welk. Parker played for
DGA this year. Prodigy the year before.
Prodigy the year before, and he won the Dynamic Disc Open with Prodigy discs, and he moved to DGA for what most people would probably think a equivalent lineup, if not better.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you probably want to know how I feel since you've done the research.
I've done the math. I've got all the math. How do you think Parker did in his first season with DGA?
Well, he didn't have a big win. He didn't have a Pro Tour win or even a Q Series win. He did have some early season success in Arizona, but I didn't hear much about him the rest of the year. So I would say that he probably had minus, if you could kick out the DDO win, I think he had an equivalent year.
In 2023, with Prodigy, he was ranked 61st in the world. And I'm just going to go based off world rankings, right? After this year, in 2024, he was 58th. So that's pretty much equivalent. He got 3 spots better, but yeah, I'd say he probably had a pretty equivalent year.
Yep.
All right. Smitty, you said Gannon going from Prodigy. He was already 7th in the world.
I said he was going to be unbeatable with good Frisbees.
And I think that was a pretty good call, Smitty.
Well, yeah, it had to be all the discs. I mean, that kid's not already a freak and wouldn't have been a freak anyhow this year, right?
Yeah.
But no, I do think it helped. He had a more complete lineup. He was able to throw some shots that he couldn't throw before. So
yeah, it seems like he had a different trust in his disc, honestly.
Well, he just had that one yellow and red thing that he just threw the pee out of all year long.
Mm-hmm. PD, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about old Alden here? Alden also went from Prodigy to Discmania.
Mm-hmm.
And Alden in 2023 had a pretty decent year, I believe. I think, is that the year that he won the
Mid-America?
Missouri Mid-America Open?
Mm-hmm. It is.
And the only time that he was relevant this year was at Green Mountain in Vermont, and he was on the lead card most of the event. So I would say that I feel like Alden had a worse year, if I was guessing, world ranking wise, than he did in 2023.
That's a good guess. 20th place in 2023. Top 20. That's kind of crazy to think about when you look back at it. He was ranked 40th this year, so 20 spots worse. He doubled up being part of Discmania.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Exact opposite direction that Gannon went. And I think it was all the putter.
Yeah, and he throws a lot of really flip up discs, and maybe that was part of it too. Maybe he had a hard time finding that in the Discmania lineup.
If Prodigy does anything well, they make some good understable plastic. That's really what they're known for in my mind.
Yep. And then we had Eagle. You said Eagle was going to do worse with MVP than he did with Discmania, and I think that you nailed it. He didn't have a great year. He probably didn't have a very good 2023 year also.
It was tough because you go back and Eagle, when he played in 2023, he played really, really well. And he was actually in the top 5. This year, though, he was ranked 28th, Smitty. And it's not all the discs. Obviously, he was injured this year, too. There's something just didn't seem right with him still. In my mind, it just didn't seem like things were clicking.
He's on drugs. Didn't you see that Wind Dragon video?
Yeah, sure did.
I'm not ready to write him off, though. I think that he is one of the greatest talents we're ever going to see disc golf wise, and I hope he can figure it out. And if he can be relevant, he's one of the ones that can give Gannon a run for his money.
Yeah, no doubt. Tristan Tanner was my other pick. He did. I think he won a tournament early on, or was in the mix. And I'm like, DGA is going to be his thing. How do you think he did this year, going from Latitude to DGA?
That dude, I do not understand whatsoever. Throws this dang thing a mile, but I would say he was just as bad, if not worse, this year than he was last year. And he wasn't great last year.
Yeah, he was 102nd in 2023, 123rd this year.
Why would we even talk about that? Right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What?
I'll never talk about him again.
He's your Joel frickin' Freeman, isn't he?
Well, I didn't pick him for anything other than this, but yeah, he's just not. I mean, that's just bad. It's just not worth mentioning.
It's terrible.
Speaking of terrible,
he didn't even make it 1 year. He left DD, where I'm guessing they would have helped him out, and he's got a tremendous upside, and I think they would have been patient with him, and he went to, greener pastures of Lone Star, and see ya.
Yeah,
make it a year.
Didn't make it through the season. Smitty, he was 108th last year. He was not even listed in the top 125 this year. So,
well, I don't think he went to a lot of the events towards the back half of the season. He's just a kid. We don't know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this last one. Ronnie said Emerson was going to be worse with Innova than with Lone Star.
I don't know if he was worse. I don't know if he's much better. I think he was probably a wash one way or the other. Thinking back, I can't think of an Emerson push in previous years. And he won a tournament in 2023 with Lone Star. He won the Open at Austin, or
he won
one of those events, one of those Texas.
MVP maybe. I thought it was outside of Texas that he won.
Not sure, but I know he won a tournament.
He definitely won one.
But I don't remember even seeing him this year. But it's hard to base an entire season on one tournament, right? Like Parker Welk winning DDO. Did that make that a great season for him, or just a great tournament?
Yeah.
So I think he probably is about a wash, maybe a little better.
So Emerson won OTB last year.
Okay.
So I knew it was a three-letter abbreviation. Emerson last year, 41st, and this year, 32nd. So 9 spots better, nearly top 30. So I'd say he definitely did better.
Yeah.
And I think towards the end of the year, he was on some lead cards, I know, on coverage quite a few times. What did he get? Idlewild, he got 4th. Des Moines, he got 11th. And those are really his top finishes on the year.
Yeah.
I'd say the worst pick here was Tristan or Alden.
I'm going to have to say I'm going to say Alden was the worst pickup for a manufacturer because he was top 20 and he said he dropped to top 40.
Yeah.
Those other two guys weren't relevant with their current sponsor.
That's fair.
Before they switch. So I'm going to say Alden would have to be the one that was probably the bigger letdown to his sponsor.
All right.
Right on. Well, this is going to be fun, I think. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Disc and Deals is in the manufacturing business.
All right.
And you have 15 points that you can spend. Smitty is in the manufacturing business, and I have 15 points that I can spend. These are the top 25 players in the world. I assigned the obvious top 2 the most value. They're going to cost us the most. Then I did the next 3 a little bit lower, and then a nice chunk of where I kind of felt like the third level players were, 5 points a pop, and then that next level, starting with your guy Cole Radalin and going down to Corey Ellis, Mr. Negative 19, 5 pars.
Yep.
At 3 points apiece. So
okay.
You can pick as many players as you can to get on your company at that price, but you can't go over 15 points.
All right.
There's only one fair way to do this, Lucas. We have to flip a coin or draw a name or do something to see who gets to go first.
I'll just go first.
All right, you do it.
I'll take Gannon.
Gannon Burr for half of your points.
Yeah, and actually, you can have my other 7 points.
Okay.
I'm going Gannon versus the whole field. If I'm building a brand, I don't want anyone else. That dude is going to be a superstar if he's not already that superstar.
Oh, no. He is a superstar, but you realize you're trying to support your company here and you're trying to make money for your company. So next year you'll have more money so you can get Gannon and Rick. Okay. But if you want to go Gannon and give me your other 7, I will say thank you very much, Lucas. And I'm going to pick up the 4th rated player in the world, Anthony Barella. 1, because I think he has a tremendous upside.
Agreed.
Number 2, people like him. People are going to buy Anthony Barella shirts, Anthony Barella disc, Anthony Barella this, that, and the other.
Yeah, even 40-year-old men will buy jerseys.
Yep. Okay. So that leaves me with what? I still have $16 to spend. I'm going to go ahead and take 5 on Simon Lizotte.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, he is a marketing genius. Fantastic. Great job for your brand.
People love that guy.
I love that guy.
People love that dude. Okay. He's going to make me money. All right. So now what do I have? $11 still?
Yeah, let's see. You got.
I took a 6 and I took a 5. I've spent 11.
You spent 19. Oh, no, you didn't get Gannon. I did.
Yeah, you were the idiot.
I'm not an idiot. I won him.
Okay. So
yeah, you have 11 more.
Okay, good. Give me the 2-time defending world champion, Isaac Robinson.
I do love him.
Moving to my brand new brand. And I've still got $5, Lucas.
Yeah.
So for $5, let's see. You know what? Give me the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Hey, man.
Are you
Guys.
sure, though, you don't want to trade number 9 for number 22?
No, not one bit. I do not. So I can't believe you'd put all of your apples in one basket and just put it all on Gannon Burr.
Well, the thing is, people are going to see how well Gannon throws, how much Gannon wins, and people are going to want to buy what winners throw.
I think there's some truth to that too, but I also think that people are going to gravitate to really good golfers with fantastic personalities. Like my worst personality is Paul McBeth.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
honestly, you got some good personalities. I do like your squad as far as a marketing. You're definitely going to go further, probably make some money, but I am going to sell. I'm going to sell more discs. I promise. I'm going to sell more discs, but you're going to help those players build their own brand. Honestly,
how am I going to help Paul McBeth grow his brand?
I'm just saying, all you're doing is helping support like Simon's YouTube. You're just helping support his YouTube. He is going to sell you some discs, but man, Gannon is going to throw a brand new disc. He's going to put it under the bucket. He's going to win by 15 strokes, and people are going to be like, "Oh my God, it's because of that disc," and then everyone's going to buy it.
I'd like to. I mean, there's got to be numbers to support that. We got to be able to see what the Discmania PD is selling like, what his new putter is selling like.
I think what sucks is the PD that he's throwing that's like that. It's an old run that I think the Innova made.
Mm-hmm, probably is.
So they don't even have the same disc, and that's where it's just like, ooh, that's not a good look for Discmania, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So,
but yeah, when he's with me, he's going to be throwing my stuff how's that going to work? Do I make discs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
he's
brand,
going to be throwing my stuff, and with my stuff, he's going to only use the stuff that is available currently.
I'm surprised they don't encourage that.
Yeah.
So
if I'm a manufacturer, that's what I want. I want you to throw what people can watch you throw and then go buy.
Good thing Isaac will be able to get his hands on all that fresh Swedish plastic.
Yeah. Are we still going there? We're thinking Discmania for sure.
I'm thinking maybe. I don't think that House of Discs is going to want Gannon, Isaac, Little Nick, all on the same team, so to say. I don't think Latitude has a big name on their squad. I think he'd be a good Latitude 64 fit.
You mean a man on the Latitude side?
Yeah.
Because they do have a decent woman.
Well, yeah, true. But, I don't see him going to Discraft. I don't see him staying with Prodigy. Lone Star has a very outside chance of getting him. And
there's no chance. There's no chance.
I think he'll end up on one of the House of Disc places or Innova.
I don't know. I'm very interested to see where he goes. That's all.
Yeah, amen to that. All right, dude. We made it.
We did. Well, let's wrap this up. We're going to do shout outs for the week. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Maybe your surgeon?
Dr. Worth. Going to go see him in a couple of weeks and see what's happening. Yeah, I had a lot of people that I should probably shout out. Jennifer took me to the hospital and stayed there for several hours while I was waiting, and then she had to leave and go on a work trip for the rest of the week.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so I didn't have anybody. My mom drove down from Salina and hung out Tuesday before and after my surgery, or Wednesday before and after my surgery. And then she went home and came back Thursday and brought me home, to which my son was supposedly going to help take care of me, which I fell asleep and woke up and he didn't come back till almost midnight. So he was never there to help out with me. Don't count on your kids to take care of you. But yeah, and then everybody that reached out to me while I was, down and out. And
Yeah. Yeah, it couldn't have been fun. And I know you are the type of dude that's go, go, go. So I hope you've been taking it easy and not doing too much.
I think I hadn't played disc golf for 2 weeks before that happened.
Oh, damn.
And
So it's going to be a month before you get to go back out, at least.
Yeah, probably.
Would you say longest stretch of your career?
No, dude, I broke a shoulder once and couldn't play for almost a year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I had to have shoulder surgery.
Right shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, and you still forehand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. That's pretty awesome. Do I have shout outs? Let's shout out Tyson Jones. Tyson Jones for getting disc and deals out to the Nevada Open and the way he handled all of the tough stuff that happened. Make sure you tune in to all of that coverage on the channel because they got 4.5 inches of rain overnight and so many things had to change on the fly. And for everything that happened, I think he did a fantastic job of making that as good as he could.
Yeah, man, from a TD's perspective, when rain comes in, dude, you cannot win. There's no possible way that you can win. Somebody's going to be mad or upset by the fact that you moved a tee pad or didn't move a tee pad or postponed the round or didn't postpone the round. It sucks. So,
yeah. And last shout out is, of course, taking it back to just earlier today with John Willis for coming on. Thanks for coming on. He didn't have to do that, and he shared it exclusively with us before Smashbox, before Tour Life. We got the exclusive interview with John, and we can't appreciate it anymore, man.
Amen.
All right, well, that's episode number 35 in the books. We will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye now.